finished it. See, I'm holding it the wrong way. Oh, I'm getting old. There we go. We'll hold it the other way. Oh. I bet you the light won't even show. There we go. I showed a photo on X. It took me a while to build. I had complications and I got annoyed at it. But you know, we got there in the end. Slowly. It's a different case than what I originally ordered because they ran out of stock. And then I was like, and then they're like, oh yeah, this is what everyone else buys. It looks the same. And I was like, okay, cool. Now it has more glowy fans, which is funny because one of the fans that I bought for the CPU, it technically fits, but it requires so much strength to bend it that I just wasn't comfortable using that much strength. It was like a thermal take. I talked about it on X. And so I ended up just scrapping using that fan, ended up using the stock one that came with the CPU. But because there's so many things that glow in it that I didn't even know glowed, it lights up like a Christmas tree. So, I wasn't really that bummed out about it. I'm just bummed that I wasted like $30 on the other fan. So, tomato. I'm not going to stress myself out about it too much, but it was a stressful night building that because one, just getting that fan on, I spent like hours trying to get it on and fiddle rivet and all that, and then I just got to the point where I was just like, I'm just not going to bother. And as soon as I was just like, yeah, just go with the stock one, everything else got together. It all got put together easily. I didn't even know the graphics card glowed. I didn't even know there's like a strip around it that glows. There's 7 fans that glow. The RAM glows. It's like a Christmas tree. Everything glows these days. Kids and your glowies. I like my glowies though too. So, and then my cat, had her bladder infection came back, so I stopped building the computer during the night, went to bed early, got up in the morning, rung up the vet, went to the vet, got more medication for her, and then started giving her medication again. So she's just finished eating, and she's just resting, so got to deal with that. So there's always something going on. It was not on my bingo list. You know what's funny? Was I was planning to do a video on the analysis channel. I wanted to review Grand Blue. I was like, yes, I want to review Grand Blue because season 2 just finished. I've got 1 episode left. I want to do my review tonight. And I was like, cool, season 3 is announced. I was like super excited about it. And then I was like, as I was getting ready for stuff, I have to give my cat my medication. She's got a bladder infection. So I've got to give her that. I was been busy building the computer, just cleaning stuff up in the yard. And then I got online and I saw my Patreon Discord server. Check out my Patreon if you want to. I just feel like throwing that in there because it will trigger someone. And I saw a message and they're like, oh yeah, El Historian's coming after you again. And it's just like, oh, yay. El Historian. Oh, I wonder what pearls of wisdom he's going to say. Right? It's totally not going to be some straw man goal posting argument, right? It's totally not going to be rage bait while he gets upset that people expose him for rage bait. I'm like, yeah. I read it and I'm like, oh, this goes much deeper. And by the way, yeah, I blocked him a year ago. You want to know why, by the way, I blocked him? It was just over a year ago. He made a comparison to 4 light novels to 4 other light novels. And he said, these 4 are better than these 4. And then he openly stated that he'd only read 2 out of the 8 in total. And I was just like, I remember getting into an argument and I just spat it at him and I just blocked him at the end. I was like, you're just full of BS. And I pointed that out recently, and people were like, oh no, that's a lie. And I'm like, no, he said that a year ago. Now apparently he has read Mushoku Tensei, because again, last year he claimed that he didn't. This is the thing, I sometimes think he just says things to rage bait people and then gets upset when people take the rage bait, because there's a difference between saying something with a heavy layer of sarcasm and baiting in it, where you can go, oh yeah, that's rage bait, oh that's sarcasm. But with him, it feels like he just says anything to get attention and then cries like a baby, ironic there, when he gets called out. I mean, him and Kiao Kiao had like an argument. I watched some of it. I felt like Kiao Kiao was kind of like all over the place. I didn't really want to spend an hour watching him kind of just I watched some parts of it, and Kiao Kiao kind of calling out light novel historian, or L historian as I like to call him now, for goalpost moving, and that's something L historian does constantly. He'll say one thing, and then he'll say another thing, and then he'll say another thing, and when you call him out for the first thing, he'll say, I never said that, I said this, you're misrepresenting me. And that's a constant tactic that he does. He never references to his past words, and he'll pretend they never existed, and that was something Kiao Kiao was calling out. But then it kind of just evolved in some like rage baity, clickbaity, milk farm kind of thing, and I was like, okay, it doesn't feel like it's even like genuine debates anymore. It just feels like it's just kind of turned into a milk fest where I don't really think they're saying anything new. They're just kind of going around a circle where Kiao Kiao's saying, yes, but you said this, and him saying, yeah, but that's misrepresenting. I actually said this. It's like, yeah, but you said this. And El Historian took Joey out of context. And this is the thing. This whole arms war has turned out all because the anime man, not the anime man, I'll get into him in a second, the anime man made a bad video rating and people criticized. Joey then made a video, the anime man made a video criticizing the word, or talking about the word Taurus, which then led to this class clown taking what Joey said out of context, twisting the interpretation to turn it into some, oh, this is insensitive, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to turn this into something that it's not, and then cry when anyone exposes me for being disingenuous and goalpost moving. And now he's just angry because anyone that exposes him for being a hypocrite and a compulsive liar is now suddenly, oh, you're misrepresenting your life. And it's just like, that's why I blocked him a year ago. Because he's not, there's no debate, there's no conversation. He's just a compulsive hypocrite and liar. And his audience is too stupid to understand 1 + 1. Which is why when I get to those points where I'm like, there is no honest conversation to be had. It's like talking to a brick wall. If I'm talking to a brick wall, I just block the person. I'm not going to waste my time having a one-on-one. It doesn't mean that I won't criticize them in videos or tweets, but that's the general reason why. And the reason why is he's brought this up is because, oh, the anime community would be much better if they were not involved. By the way, this person's only mad at me because I exposed a bunch of people they follow for force injecting politics, which it gets more funny as you find out that they're using Grok as a reference. Which, by the way, Grok says a load of different things. If you actually, unclogged that brain that's completely clogged up with rubbish and goo coming out of your ears, you would know not long ago Grok was saying slurs. Grok is not a good source of information to use, nor is really any AI when they randomly spaz out and say dumb things that they shouldn't be saying. Yeah, I get why you're doing it, because when it says what you want to hear, that's when you'll agree with it, which is more ironic from it coming from a person that talks about how, I'm friends with plenty of people who disagree on political and ideological standpoints, proceeds to crash out at people for not agreeing with them, including myself and other people, but will only listen to an AI when it says what you want to hear, which, by the way, it's really easy to get an AI to say what you want it to say if you frame words in a specific fashion. Very, very easy to manipulate an AI. And it still is. So it shows the disingenuousness in your argument points, which, he's just a bee who cries about wokeness. I don't actually want on a daily basis, which is just factually incorrect. I don't talk about it daily. You're the same person that got angry at me because I covered anime. And this is the thing. I cover memes, you get angry at me. Say that I'm a Reddit user, even though I don't use Reddit, except for like maybe a couple of guides on some games that I play, like Stellaris and stuff. And maybe getting some blueprints for Factorio. That's as far as Reddit use goes. I don't use it for anything else other than some gaming stuff to get some basic guides. Most of it I get from YouTube, though. I avoid Reddit like the plague. And yet they got angry at me because I posted memes saying that I'm just a Reddit user. Then they sent a bunch of other content creators after me, claiming that I don't change my shirt enough. I have a washing machine. I know you probably can't afford one because you're too busy with your student loan debt that you got for doing art study and gender studies at whatever university of wokeness. I'm going to use that word now. But I don't really use the word woke much in my videos. Really, if at all. I more talk about words like censorship. I use other things like Taurus, because that's the word that most people use, but I don't even preferably like to use that word. I prefer the new word that my own Patreon members came up with is cultural parasite. That's what I like to use. But I generally talk about people that talk about problematic elements and how they are pushing for censorship. I don't really talk about the word woke, because I don't really think the word offers anything in a conversation, because it's too loose and it's kind of used in the same terminologies as Taurus. It's too broad and it gets overused and it doesn't have a distinct purpose. It's, again, words can cut deep if you use them correctly, which is why these people are really mad at me, because I do cut deep into their hypocrisy and their double standards. So it demonstrates that you don't watch my content. It demonstrates that you are a hypocrite, because you literally crash out at anyone that doesn't agree with you and don't try to have an honest, which is, like I said, if I'm talking to a brick wall, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not friends with annoying crybabies and grifters, though. They're doing the same thing, using the generalized words. How am I a grifter? What, because I'm passionate about anime? That's not a really good argument to work with. Especially seeing as you've attacked me for doing anime reviews as well. Like I said, they've attacked me for posting memes. Oh no, you're not allowed to post memes. That makes you a Reddit user. Oh, you do anime reviews, light novels, mangas, and etc. Oh no, that's just terrible. You're a horrible person. You should just not make that content. Okay, I expose hypocrites like yourself, censorship, people calling for problematic elements to be removed. Oh, nope, I'm a bad person. The reality is they just don't want me to exist. They want me gone. And I know for a first-hand fact from sources that, yes, they want me game ended. They would cherish it. Because these people have so much hatred and animosity towards us that they want us gone. By the way, I can't follow myself, but hey, can Nux just like follow me and make the trio? At least then it would be like the ultimate, apparently, grifter community. It's ironic because I think Nux doesn't really like me because I criticized Tectone once. Again, water under the bridge, don't really care, but it's just kind of funny. But apparently, I'm all far right, which, here's a fun fact. I'm actually center left. But even a lefty like myself is getting tired of these double standards and hypocrites and grifters, because this is the thing. You are a grifter. You are the very thing that you're criticizing. Because there isn't really much love for anime, except every time you can shove the word problematic in. I don't use the word wokeness. You people use that more yourself now, which is kind of fun. And again, people have different opinions and you crash out. I get it. You have hatred for me for exposing it. And that's why Mother's Basements came after me as well. Claimed that my thumbnail design is owned by him and I stole it. Dude, I've had that thumbnail design for over 8 years. I don't even think I even knew who you were back then. It's hard to remember back then. It really is, but it was made by a friend, another content creator that made it for me, because I wanted a thumbnail, and I was just like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to have like a color border around there with my name at the bottom, you know, at least people would know, or something on the side. I know another content creator that does something similar where they have a green border and they have like a little frog at the side. Heaps of people use those kinds of borders, but apparently Mother's Basement came after me because I criticized him. Criticism equals you need to come after me, and that's the thing. They've all come after me, and I'm still standing. And that's why they're angry. Because they can't bully me. You can't bully me off, can't you? And that makes you scared. And I thought I'd just give a nice little shout out to Okko there, because I've done a collab, or I've been on their stream where we've talked. More than happy to anytime. And this is the thing, and this is where I want to get to this last tweet, which was based on that. The funny thing is, I tried to force myself out of politics. I thought unfollowing it all, sorry to them, because I did end up unfollowing them to try and get out of politics. Because I just got too deep embedded into like VTuber drama, politics, and all that. And I tried to force myself out of it, blocking it all, thinking it would go away. It was like the whole Hassan thing as well. But then I just got ham-fisted back into it, because every time I try to just enjoy anime and just try and do my own thing, instantly I just see people in my comments, videos going, this is problematic. Free Run is actually some political overarching story about racism and then the N-word, the World War II one. And then these very same people are all followed by each other, and they're all in a little cliquey group, which, again, these individuals all follow each other. You only need to look at the following list. They're all the same people. They're political activists. They're cultural parasites. They latch onto these communities and they try and turn everything into some left versus right. And not everything is political. Most things aren't political in the grand sense of real world politics, right? Versus left versus right, but people try to turn it into that, which is where I find it annoying, because it just takes away from the world and the characters and the growth, because everything has to turn into some political messaging about how late stage capitalism is evil, which was something I criticized Mother's Basement for in his recent Isekai video, where he snuck it into the Shield Hero part. I think it was the Shield Hero part. It's in the video, but he snuck it in very slightly, and I called it out. I'm like, oh yay, politics has to be sneakily ham-fisted in. And then they got angry because I criticized them, because they aren't really genuine in a lot of their arguments. They kind of twist information so that they can say, well, I didn't lie, but they twist things. And then when you expose them, you're spreading misinformation, you're a liar, blah, blah, blah. And then the best they can do is use an AI that only recently was throwing around slurs that you very same people were crying about. It's like, again, you can't really win an argument here. And I thought you people hate Elon Musk, or is Elon Musk now cool to like again? I mean, you're using the same AI, you're using the same website. I thought you people used to go to Blue Sky, or is Blue Sky too busy banning you and got too much inappropriate P-word stuff on there? I thought we were all the P-word as well, and the N-word from World War II. I don't know what these people want. I don't know where the middle ground is, but like I said, when it comes to walls, this is why I block them. And hey, El Historian, you can rage bait all you want, but no one's really falling for your stuff, except the one time you said, well, everyone on TikTok agreed with me. That's not something to be proud of. That's really not something to be proud of. That's like the most brain rotten of sites out there, and you're like, yeah, everyone with brain rot agreed with me. Hey! that's just sad, bro. Again, you can crash out all you want, but the reality is you know you're not right, which is why the only thing you can do is just turn it into a sort of grab sticks with your little groups. And I don't really get why, to be honest. He's kind of turned everything into politics himself. Maybe that's what's working for him too. Again, this is the thing. As I said right here, I tried to get out of it, but they all try to force you back into it. They drag you into it, and then they cry, oh, he just talks about wokeness. Wokeness. You people make up your own fictional stories of what I am, that I'm some supervillain. No, I'm just tired of your hypocrisies. I'm tired of all these problematic elements that you keep preaching about. If you got your way, half of the animes out there would be watered down. Half of the isekais, I mean, these are the same types of people, by the way, that complained about Shield Hero being problematic back in Season 1, and now suddenly it's, oh, well, Shield Hero Season 1 was actually the best out of them all. So you can't win with these people. That's why they came after me for my anime reviews, and my light novel reviews, and my manga. Why don't you encourage me? If you hate the politics, why don't you encourage the content you do like? But you don't. You attacked that as well. And then when I try to have some fun with memes to cheer people up and cheer myself up, got to attack that as well. Nothing I ever do makes you happy, because you're a miserable cultural parasite. And if you want to dance with me, go right ahead. I've got all day. You've probably got a student loan to still pay off, and a Starbucks job that you probably hate to still do. That's a bit more of a making a bit of a story up, but it's just like how I imagine these people are. Prove me wrong. But this here, that's just a bold-faced lie, and I know it. Because it's the same line, the same types of you people use all the time. Oh, I disagree with people all the time. No, you want your opinion out of my mouth. That's why you've come after me in every way, and you've sent every content creator you can muster to come after me. And time again, you keep failing. Because weirdly enough, I'm one step ahead. Remember the guy that whined about free ren? Yeah, he crashed out about me for a whole week. And so's El Historian. He's still crashing out because he got cooked so goddamn hard about his disingenuous points about Joey, which, by the way, I've criticized Joey before, but even I'm sitting here going, what you're doing with Joey's video is just twisting words. But I get it. You're hoping if you attack Joey, you'll be able to get some of his haters to follow you. They'll turn on you just as quick. If you want to hate me, fine. Hate me based on actual facts, actual crimes that I've actually committed in your eyes, what you would deem as a crime. Having an honest opinion, being genuine, if that's a crime to you, so be it. But I'd rather be me than ever be someone like you, because I wouldn't have real genuine friends then. Everything would be superficial and fake, all built on echo chambers and yes thinking. You don't have people that you disagree with. You just want to pretend that there's a debate there. And I know that because I've seen what you people cheer on.